Yo, what's going on? It's going down there.
I'm Jay the Don.
This is JB the Poet.
And you're watching the Christoph Lee Show.
So why not check it out?
So the president got COVID-19. This goes to show you that anybody can get it, and that we need to be wearing that mask, and that we need to be social distancing. And then the fact that I think that this could have been handled so much better if the president took this much more seriously. We wouldn't be in the conditions that we're in right now if we still had that pandemic team that was in place when President Obama was in place, and we'll be in a so much better place. And then the fact that he had a spreader event or something like that, but anyway, they weren't practicing social distancing, they weren't being safe, and now that he got it and he's trying to make it seem like he's just beat it all of a sudden and that he just beat it all of a sudden, I don't believe that. And also the fact that I don't know how we made this virus political. How did the whole virus become political? I really do not understand that. And I don't understand how people don't take this virus seriously when there's been 200,000 Americans that's been dead, that's been killed because of this virus. And we should have been took more precautions and stuff and social distance. All we gotta do is wash our hands, just social distance until this whole thing is over, until they come up with a vaccine. And of course, I'm not gonna be the first one that's gonna take the vaccine, of course, but still, if we practice social distancing and actually listen to the experts instead of listening to politicians, we'd be straight. But I really can't wait for this to be over. And if you don't like what the president is doing, please go out and vote. If you really want to, you don't have to, but please exercise your right to vote, please. What up, guys? It's your boy B. Christoph Lee, and I'm here with a very beautiful model. Her name is Okay. So what made you want to get into modeling?
Well, honestly, I've been doing it since I was about 14 in Atlanta. I lived in Atlanta for like a year, and it was always around me for real, and I got attracted to it. So I was like, I'm about to be a model. Fuck, I'm sorry, but I've been doing that ever since. But just in January, I started really going hard for it.
And so you have this business, and I can talk about it because it's my show, but it's kind of explicit. Do you want to talk about this business? That
I don't mind talking about it at all. I don't mind.
So what is this business that you have?
Well, I sell sex toys. My line is called the Esco brand. I also have merch. Of course, I have the average dildo, vibrators, any type of nipple toy, any type of play, any type of sex play you want, I have. What was the question?
I was asking you, what was your business?
Oh, that's the business. Yes, I sell sex toys.
So as you can see, she's very liberated. She don't really care. So where do you get this whole I don't care at what people think of me attitude from? Where do you get that from?
Well, I just think every Sagittarius is naturally like that. I am a Sagittarius, but I've been through a lot. I've been judged a lot my whole life, and I've been affected by it a lot. But it used to eat me up a lot, but I had to really stop doing that because I realized I was really hurting myself. Like, anything anyone says to me now, it doesn't matter. They're not putting food in my pocket. I'm at money in my pocket, food on the table for me, so it don't really matter.
And since I kind of follow her on social media, I saw this post where you said that nothing becomes between you and the highest, and so would you care to explain that?
I do not mind I am a Jehovah's Witness, if you guys don't know. It is a lot of explaining behind the religion, so I don't mind explaining it one day, but I'm not gonna say I refuse, but right now I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be the right time. But I do follow Jehovah. I am a Jehovah's Witness.
So, are you one of the people that be knocking on people's doors, or you talking about you follow God, or please tell me you're not one of those people that just knock on the door, but you actually do something?
I try to practice my religion. I really do, but certain things I do not abide by, which I am a hypocrite for. But I try my best to follow Jehovah, who I do pray to.
Because some people are going to say that you having a sex toy / sex business, people are going to think that you're kind of contradicting yourself, since being a Christian you're supposed to be holier than thou, but you're trying to change the narrative.
I definitely see myself changing the narrative. I see myself very religious. I pray a whole lot. I've been praying for a very long time. I'm very spiritually connected to him. He sees my grind. I'm pretty sure he sees what I'm trying to do to get to where I'm trying to go. It's not the best option, but it is original, I feel. And I'm very big on being original, but I do pray to God, and me and him know we're good. So anything anyone else has to say about me making money in an odd type of way, it's irrelevant.
And so, speaking of sex work, you do know a lot of people are making OnlyFans during this day and age, especially with the whole pandemic that's going on. With that being said, wash your hands, social distance, wear your mask. But back to the question of OnlyFans, what do you think of OnlyFans? Would you ever make an OnlyFans?
Well, no, I would not make an OnlyFans, but I've had something called Is My Girl, which is very similar. I just feel like you can make more money on Is My Girl than you can on OnlyFans. But I've had my Is My Girl since January to like August. When I started my sex toy line, I dropped the Is My Girl link out my bio, and I focused more on my toys and modeling, because that's something I am trying to shift off of. It's great money, but it's not me.
Okay, I got you. And also, so where do you see yourself in the future? Do you see yourself still modeling or doing other adventures or whatever?
Definitely modeling. I wish to see myself on a big ass billboard in the next 2 years, but 5 years definitely still modeling on a way higher level. I'm not so much sure about my sex toy line, but that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay, I got you. And where did you get your name Esco from?
My last name is Escobar. I have a hyphenated last name, Escobar Green. My first name is Jasmine.
Okay. So this is Esco. Do you want to be called Jasmine, or do you just want me to call you Esco?
Both is me. Really, both is me. Any name is fine.
Okay, so this is Jasmine Escobar, and she is very dope, and she's a very beautiful model. And where can people find your work and find your Instagram? Because we all know these people are thirsty, so they're gonna ask about you. So
my Instagram is Esco with 6 O's at the end, and my Twitter is Tweet Escobar.
Okay, and this is Escobar. I'll see you guys in the next interview. Guys, it's your boy The Christoph Lee, and tonight we're at this place called the Nuttery Buttery. Tonight they are doing an event called the Melodic Mondays, and they do this every Monday at 6 or 7 in Richmond downtown. And they do spoken word, music, and poetry, and they got other people doing performances also. So we are gonna go check it out. What up, guys? This is your boy The Christoph Lee, and I'm with the creator of Melodic Mondays, and the event is held, of course, on Mondays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Nutty Buttery. And we have a creator with us today. How are you today?
I'm pretty good. It's a little gloomy outside, but I feel pretty good on that side.
Okay, that's good. And what's your name?
Ajani, Oxidon.
Okay. So, what made you start Melodic Mondays?
So I realized that Richmond didn't really have a lot of opportunities for artists, especially hip hop and R&B artists. So, especially being a music manager, I wanted to find a place or do something where my artists could excel. And an open mic was definitely the vibe. You know, it makes sense. You bring more people in, you get the support for the people that you need, and you have a really great time.
And so, why did you choose the Nutty Buttery as a place to like host the Mondays?
The Nutty Buttery kind of chose me. A really good friend of mine, Sean Powell, he owns Workshop RBA on Broad Street. He was doing an event here, and you know, they realized that they kind of needed a different kind of creative vibe. And he brought me to the owner, and me and Miss Charlene talked, and she loved the idea I had, so I kind of went from there.
Okay. And so, what do you do outside of Melodic Mondays?
Outside of Melodic Mondays, I don't really do too much. I go to other open mics. I love to support other open mics. I do poetry. I have a poetry club that meets like on Fridays. And like I said, I do music management, so I'm usually like planning some events for my artists, trying to get new information to them, or just hanging out with my friends. You know?
I got you. And do you have any music out? I know you said music manager, but do you also do music?
I do music. I've done music before. My artist and I dropped a mixtape called the Melodic Mixtape Volume 1. It is a compilation of the artists that come to Melodic Mondays regularly. And I got a song on there. Now, I'm not a rapper, but, you know, I does it if it needs to be done.
And is there anything you want to say to people besides come out to Melodic Mondays?
I was literally about to say that. Come out to Melodic Mondays, 6 to 9, $7 to get in, but it's definitely worth coming in. We serve really great drinks. We have some really great treats, and the performances are always dope. And then I want to just give a shout out to my sponsors, of course, the Nutty Buttery, Attitude Adjustments, Sweet Nothing Spache, Low Maceo, Workshop RBA, and Final Design. That's like my team behind the scenes, and they do a lot to help out. So yeah.
Alright. So please come out to the Nutty Buttery to see Melodic Mondays. They have comedy, they have poetry, spoken word, music, and all other creative outlets. And you guys also have open mic nights too, also.
And there are actually 2 open mic nights that happen at the Nutty Buttery. So it's Mondays, Melodic Mondays, and then Thursday Night Lives with Jamil, and that's from 7 to 9. It's also a really nice vibe too.
What up, guys? It's your boy D. Christophe, and this is where all the magic is happening right now.
That's it, hey yo! Hey yo! What's happening, Mulann? Make some fucking noise, please. Make some noise.
I come up here, make sure you say that shit with your motherfucking chest, because I know you feel it in your chest, because I do as well. Oh my God, why would you take my protector? You held your badge in your hand and claimed to be protection, but who did you protect me from? I called him my right hand and he was my go-to. We complimented each other like Vegeta and Goku.
My mind back to back, and got put to rest on her rest eye. This is why I can't sleep. Every time I close my eyes, I hear please, I can't breathe. It's now 5 a.m. I'm tired. Not due to lack of slumber, but due to feeling useless.
After that, don't give a fuck what she say. I believe him. I believe him. Oh, you're a fucking lie. She caught you once, nigga. Let me tell you.
Got me questioning everything in sight now. Like they was barely old enough to tie a tie. You telling me they would choose a nuisance, how to die in the public eye now. Wow, got me thinking do or die now. Found them bodies missing their organs and you labeled it suicide. How?
Not your weed to begin with. I ain't have to. It's not that fucking serious. But I tell him, I'm like, I only took 1 hit, bro. Wait a minute. And he's like, sorry, I wasn't counting. Why the fuck you counting anyway? Like, first of all, it's not your weed.
on a mission. You a little strip nuggets to me. Never get it done, you losers incomplete.
So I am with the host and the creator of Melodic Mondays. Tell me your name again.
Ajani.
Ajani. So they just wrapped up another event for Miami. It's great. You guys should come out for it. You guys do this every Mondays at
701 West Clay Street. The Nutty Buttery. Come through. Yep, the Nutty Buttery.
Okay. What do you guys do? Poetry, music, other live performances also?
Yeah, we do dancers, rappers. It's mostly a little bit of rappers, but everybody comes in, so sprinkle up a little bit of everywhere.
I got you. And so this is the lead spotlight event, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, right. So where can we find you guys?
Oh, the Instagram page is Melodic_Mondays. That's MELODICE_Mondays. I think everybody knows how to spell Mondays, but it's Melodic_Mondays.
We have an artist that's not from RVA, but he's around RVA. So how are you today? And what's your name?
I'm good, man. It's your boy Feel Out of God. Feel Out 540 from Instagram. You know, if you don't know, you'll find out soon. So originally, my family is from DC. My mother's family is from Petersburg, but she grew up in Germany. I used to live in a place called Louisa. It's about 45 minutes from here. And right before my daughter was born, actually right after she was born, I just needed a relocation, change of scenery. I was getting in too much trouble. I just needed something fresh. And so I picked up me and my brother, you know, my girl, my kids, and we just picked up and we just moved. And I've been here ever since. I've been here I want to say 5 years now, maybe around that time. So at this point, I'm a Richmond nigga. Well, just before I even say that, I will say I have a couple different things out. It's just, I also have a SoundCloud, so there's a lot of stuff there. You know, I kind of pick and choose what goes where. So there's a lot of content out on YouTube, you know, the whole 9 yards, which, you know, you'll get more familiar with, of course, because now you know who I am. But as far as my personal influences, early on what kind of started me getting into music, I was a huge Bone Thugs and Harmony fan growing up. You know, my parents just played R&B. I was Anthony Hamilton, Joe, Music Soul Child, Keith Sweat. I also used to like a lot of different types of, not a lot, but I like some different rock music. Chiodos, Rage Against the Machine. You know, just a lot of different stuff kind of goes into what makes me as an artist. You know, I think I don't really take stylistically anything from anyone, but I do have influences that have kind of shaped the fact that I don't really stay in one lane. You know, there are some people who rap and they just rap. Some people who sing and they just sing. You know, I feel like me, I just kind of, depending on the way the beat's going and how I'm feeling in that moment, you never really know what you're going to get. You know, because I don't even know. So I would say right now, my favorite rappers, shit, that's hard. I gotta say, shout out Stay Solid Rocky from out here, well, from Texas, but out here, I'm a huge Stay Solid Rocky fan. I'm a fan of a lot of my peers. I know that's not like the popular thing to say,
right?
But I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, hide, I guess, like how I'm really feeling. So, you know, I really rock with his music. I gotta say, I'm newly starting to like some of Gunna's music. I was never a fan, but he's got some hard stuff. Thugger. That's really it. Like, I don't really listen to a lot of new people that I can kind of think off the top of my head at the moment. You know, it's not really a long list of who I'm really checking for at this moment. I think a lot of the times, like, I listen to the people around me. So, like, you know, my brother Petey, shout out Petey Mills, Scuddy, LV, Stefan is my favorite singer, the Devotee. He's the engineer who you just met when you got here. So I take a lot of inspiration from the people around me. You know, you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with. So for me, if I'm not listening to the few artists I decide to listen to, I'm usually listening to my people. You know, my guy Hasmo, even my cameraman James, shout out Samaj. You know, it's a lot of good music going on around my camp. So, you know, I got a lot of people that I can just kind of vibe with. Well, originally I was really into sports. I think just like most of us growing up, you know, football was my thing. I thought I was gonna go to college, go to the pros, the whole 9 yards, and I ended up messing up my knee real bad. And I don't know, I just kind of fell into music. Like I was in school, I was about 17, and you know, it was just kind of the popular things kind of to do at the moment. And then as I got older, it really turned into something. Like I would say probably in the last like 4 years or so, it really has turned into like, oh, like people actually are like taking notice to what I'm doing. And for me, the music that I make, you know, I use my music as like a diary. Like I know it's cliche to say, but like my music saved my life. And you know, when people message me, like I get messages all the time. People are like, yo, like your music saved my life. I was gonna do this, I was gonna do that, but like you really helped me stay here. You know, for me, it's like that's wild as hell because I didn't write it for you. Like I wrote it to save myself. So the fact that I can save you is just like a amazing byproduct of what I'm actually trying to do. Because I try to approach every song. You know, it sounds crazy to say, but I try to approach every song as kind of like a suicide note. And I don't mean that in the sense of like I'm suicidal and like that, but I mean that in the sense of like if something happened to me tomorrow and, you know, my daughter or like, you know, people who love me needed to play something or hear something to know who I was, you know, my grandkids 20, 30 years down the road, whatever the case may be, you know, I want them to be able to turn on my music and be like, wow, like, I feel like I know him. You know,
so you want to leave a legacy, basically.
Absolutely.
Legacy.
Absolutely.
That's great. I love that. That's dope. That's dope.
I mean, not just in the future. Like, that's some things that I've already, you know, started to do. You know, me and one of my guys, Scuddy, who I mentioned earlier, we actually held a seminar not too long after, you know, the George Floyd situation happened downtown, and we had a microphone and speakers, and people pulled up, and there was a lot of people out there just expressing how they felt in that moment about what's going on. Black people, white people, Hispanic, everyone was welcome. It was a peaceful thing. You know, aside from that, I've been able to use my platform to kind of push for people to vote, just to kind of push for an open dialogue where people don't feel judged, where people, you know, don't feel like they can't speak their minds. You know, it's a very unpopular opinion to say, okay, I want to hear the Trump supporters' thoughts just like I want to hear the fellow black man's thoughts. That's a very unpopular opinion because unfortunately, you know, the hate has grown so deep that we've received that now it's at a boiling point. It's like, you know, we don't want to hear anything. It's, you know, this is what needs to happen and this is what needs to be done. And for me, I feel like, you know, until you can hear both sides and understand both sides, then we can't really have real change. You know, I feel like we gotta be the bigger people, unfortunately. Even though we've been done wrong more than anybody, we gotta be bigger and take that next step to try to understand the enemy before we can change the enemy. So, you know, I feel like I've just been able to use my platform just to kind of just give that open dialogue and just give people a real change of view. You know, just as somebody who's not just gonna say the right thing or the popular thing, somebody who's gonna say how I actually truly feel. So I don't really have a preference. You know, my playlist is crazy. Like, I don't have a preference. There isn't. You know, I'm not one of those people that's gonna stand here and throw dirt on, you know, the little Pumps and the little Uzis of the world. That's not who I am. You know, I feel like in every era of music has just been about expression. So however you feel like you're expressing yourself is right. There is no wrong answer. So I don't really have a preference. I think it's just whatever I'm feeling in that moment. Like, you might hear me playing some Uzi, you might hear me bumping some Blueface, but then you might hear me listening to Charlene by Anthony Hamilton. You might hear me listening to East 1999 by Bone Thugs. Like, you might hear me listening to Mamacita by Tiger. Like, you know, you never really know like what you're gonna get, at least from me. I don't have a specific preference. It's just about music, whatever makes me feel. Overall, I would have to say Drake. I mean, I don't really think, you know, any artist can personally say like they wouldn't want a Drake feature. I think that'd be number one. I think aside from Drake, T.I.'s son, Damani. He's one of my favorite artists also. I'd love to work with him. Like I said earlier, I listen to Stay Solid Rocky. It'd be cool to work with him. You know, I'm really open to working with a lot of people. I think it just, for me, like, I have to be able to vibe with people before I can work with them.
Right.
You know, like, I can't just go into a studio setting, at least not if it's something that we're trying to create, like, cohesively. You know, I can't go into a studio setting and just, we've never met a day in our lives and try to come up with something, because it's not going to be, it's going to be generic. Right. You know, now, don't get me wrong, I've had people pay me for features and stuff like that, and I'll go to the studio, we've never met a day in our lives, and we'll get it done. But if it's gonna be real and cohesive, like, it's gotta be people I can vibe with.
And it feels better when it's genuine and you guys are just clicking together. So it's kind of like in sports when fans be talking about particularly the NBA, they want to trade this player to get this player back, but people don't take into account the locker room, the personalities, team chemistry, all that. So I think that goes in the same with music, because with different people that we're working with, because it's like you said, you want it to be genuine, you want it to be real. That way it feels more organic, and more people are going to listen to it.
Exactly. You don't want to put out in anything that's forced. It's just not going to be the same. Honestly, I started working on this EP twice, because the first go around, I basically decided that this was the last year that I was going to put every single dollar I had into music. You know, I think being a young father and stuff like that, you know, it can be a little selfish almost, because I'm making sacrifices that don't just affect me anymore, to try to make something happen for a bigger gain. So I said, probably, I want to say about 6 months ago, I said, you know, this will be the last year I put every dollar in. So it's either go big or go home. And I mean, I've spent more, I've taken bigger losses than some people have even spent in their career. So, you know, you get tired of that after a while.
Please listen to this man's music. That way it pays off in the end, please.
So, you know, at first it was just me putting a project together, so I had something to push. And just like we were just talking about, you know, when you collab with people and it's not organic and not real, that's how that project, that's how it sounded at first. It didn't sound real, it didn't sound organic, it just sounded like I just went in the studio, put a bunch of songs together, because I wanted to get something done, so I had something to push. Excuse me. And then I went through a really messed up situation not that long ago. You know, I won't go too far into details, but, you know, I'm a very, very loyal person. I think anybody around me will tell you that. You know, if I love you, I'm willing to die behind you. That's just kind of how I carry it. And, you know, someone that we all kind of held close in the moment switched up. You know, it is what it is. But it really messed me up for a while. Because when you genuinely care about people, you know, you actually care when stuff like that happens. So when that happened, I just kind of went into this, you know, depression. Because I deal with depression, anxiety, I have mental health, you know, issues. And I talk about that in my music. That's a big focal point for me. And I just one day was just like, I'm just going to start over. Just start from scratch. So I took all those songs, scrapped them, and I just started from the beginning. And, you know, the first one I did was Helen Back that I was playing for you earlier. And it was like I just had like word vomit. Like it just, once I started, I couldn't stop. So then I knew like I was coming from a real place. I was coming from a different place. So this project was, I think, the epitome of what I tried to strive for as an artist. You know, I think it really came from that place of me venting and like giving my all on the beat and putting my all into the songwriting process and just putting my all the way through it, because I'm really giving my feelings. Like I'm really writing from a pen filled with my own blood. Like, you know, like it's really me. You know, it's not just bars. It's not just a hook. It's not just making a song to make a song. Like it's really what I'm going through. You know, so that's where the project essentially came from. It didn't start that way, but that's where it ended up, and I'm very, very proud of it.
I got you. And how many songs are on this EP?
On this EP, there's 5 songs. We have Helen Back is already out. That's technically the lead single, and then we have Miss Calls, the remastered version. Miss Calls actually was on my last project, 2605, but then I went and got the whole thing remastered. You know, went back to the big studio and got everything done right. So the remastered version is actually on this new project. And Miss Calls is the lead video. That video just hit over 100,000 views. So, you know, everything is kind of moving along. But yeah, we got those 2 are the ones that are out. We got Fallen. That's a record that I really like, produced by Cito on the beat. Shout out to him. He produced Helen Back also. Miss Calls was produced by TB Digital. Shout out to TB. He's a very, very close personal friend of ours. Does a lot of work for us. Has helped a lot. So shout out TB. We got Standalone, which in my opinion is going to be the biggest song off this project. I think that's the one. Produced by my homie KFK. He produced one of Stay Solid Rocky songs, so he's a Billboard producer now. So shout out to KFK. And then I got the outro. I can't remember who produced that, but it's like an acoustic beat, which you'll hear off camera. But yeah, it's 5 songs, man, and it's an experience, and there's gonna be an entire experience around it, which I won't go too far into those details. Those will come about in the coming months. But yeah, man, this project means about as much to me as any project ever has.
Please check out his music. You're on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music.
Anywhere you can find music, Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, YouTube. Just search Feel Out of God, FE_LIE, space God. I'm on Instagram at FE_LIE540. Same thing on TikTok, same thing on Twitter. I'm on OnlyFans, but you gotta find that one for yourself. Yeah, man, I'm all over the place. So, just come vibe out with me, send me a DM, whatever. I always respond. Real down to earth, cool guy. So, yeah.
Alright, so I'll see you guys next time.
Active by night, keep going crazy.
Almost let you get me caught up. Seen the new shit that you got me. Goodbye love. Fucked up, I'ma push you to the side, love. Try love with you, but it don't work. Give up on you, should know by now all my time's worth. Can't let you make me feel like I ain't worth a million. Chill, bitch, I'ma show you how to make a killing. Why you love these bitches? If I turn up on your ass, do you feel me now? Break a couple things, do you feel me now? You don't feel me now. Twisted can be playing, you can't win this round, it's over. I've been on my mind, it's sober. Honey, take my friend, hold you. You know it's over. Oh, I heard you now. Turn up your neck, cause I shut you down. You're missing now, but you can kiss it now. So we're in the distance now. It don't make a difference now. Can I come now? Don't need to break a thing, you better listen. Fuck the attitude, cause you trippin'. Now my vibe is different, know what you missing. Don't have to tell you guys, no listen. Turn up on your ass in a heartbeat, don't test me. It's a hair trigger, so you know it's real testy. Shake and get messy.
Active by night,
You know where
keep
to
going crazy.
find me. This is the maximum. Can't let you be distracted, no. You know what you're doing, so don't be surprised that I'm through with you. I ain't got the time to be playing with you. No laying with you. Yeah, you know what to do. I won't play the fool. Almost that you get me caught up. Seen the new shit that you got me. Can't lie, look goodbye, love. Push you to the side, love. That you get me caught up.